Assalamu alaikum. This is Kamrul Hasan. Welcome to my Facebook page and YouTube channel, Learning with Kamrul Hasan. Today I'll talk about the grammar translation method. I have another video of this in Bengali for the Bangladeshi students, but with the request from worldwide foreign students, I'm trying to make it. And I hope that you all will stay with me. First of all, let me tell you the content of this video. Number 1, definition. Number 2, principles. Number 3, advantages. Number 4, disadvantages. Number 5, roles of L1 or mother tongue. So, let's go to the main part of the video. Definition. According to Richard and Schmidt, a method of foreign or second language teaching which makes use of translation and grammar study as the main teaching and learning activities. That means it's a way of learning foreign language using translation and grammar. So we have lots of methods in teaching learning foreign languages. So here we have grammar translation method, and according to Richard and Schmidt, they are saying that it's a way of teaching and learning foreign language using translation and grammar, which is called grammar translation method. Number 2, the principles. A fundamental purpose of learning a language is to be able to read literature when in it. So through this method, we'll be able to learn a language and able to read literature, what is written in it. That is all we want. Number 2, an important goal is for students to be able to translate each language into the other. That means we need to translate the language or translate the whatever it is written in it or the literature, we have to translate it into our mother tongue. It could be French, it could be Hindi, it could be Bengali. So we have to translate it. Number 3, the ability to communicate in the target language is not a goal of language instruction. That means through this method, we will not communicate in our target language. Our purpose will be writing and reading, not any kinds of conversation or any kinds of communication will be made through this method. Number 4, the primary skills to be developed are reading and writing. What I was talking about earlier, that primary skills will be developing reading and writing. We all will be able to just read and write whatever it is written, and whatever I want to write, I'll be able to do all these things through this method. Number 5, the teacher is the authority in the classroom. That means teacher will be the all in all in that class. Means it's going to be a teacher-centered classroom. Role of L1. L1 means student's native language. L1 has an important function in teaching vocabulary and grammar. L1 is used to clarify and explain the target language grammar patterns. It means if you have to learn second language or L2, you must have to be strong in L1 and use it in your classroom. That's what it has been said here. L1 is also used to teach the meanings of unknown words in the target language. Second language has been clarified and explained through L1. That means native language. Since oral communication in the target language is not important, that we have said earlier that we are not making any communication, any conversation. That's why oral communication is not important here. Classroom instructions are given in L1. Advantages of grammar translation method. Words, phrases of target language are quickly explained. Number 2, it stresses on acquiring correct grammar. Number 3, it takes language learning easier. If you get the correct grammar and vocabulary and the words, the language learning will be easier. Number 4, cultural awareness through the other language. If we can read a language and literature, we'll be able to know its cultural side as well. It increases vocabulary. Grammar provides rules for putting words together. So if we know the correct grammar and memorize the vocabulary and the words, we'll be able to put them together in correct way. So this is how grammar and translation working together to know literature and to know foreign language. Disadvantages: wrong idea of what language is. That means what types of language that is. We are just learning how to write and how to read. We are not having the gist or the flavor of the language. If you cannot speak or communicate, you will not have the proper flavor of a language or of a thing. Unnatural method. That means it's not coming naturally. Only memorizing, reading and writing. We know one thing, that reading, writing, speaking, listening, that 4 skills have to be embedded in any language skills. So we are just focusing on reading and writing. That's why it's called unnatural method. It starts with the teaching of reading, not listening. So that's why what I was talking about, that starting reading, not listening. Speech is neglected as it lays emphasis on reading and writing. It does not give pattern practice. Less learners motivation. So we don't have any motivation like this. Create frustration for learners. You are memorizing something and you are lacking something. So frustration will arise. This is what talking about in this point. In my point of view, despite all these disadvantages, grammar translation method has huge effect, contribution on reading and writing. If you can't learn grammar and memorize the vocabulary, how will you know the pattern of a language? How will you know or understand basic words of a language? So this memorizing and the structure and the grammatical facts you'll have to know. So these grammar translation method are providing huge impact in our second language learning. So we need to use this method if we want to be correct in our grammar and our vocabulary. So that's we had for today. If you have any question, any request, you can just tell me, you can ask me. So found it useful, then subscribe my channel, share, comment and pray for me. Assalamu alaikum.